Cultuur of Aruba. Published December the 8th, 2017. Special characters are denoted as follows. And. Left and right parentheses. This article may require cleanup to meet Wikipedia's quality standards. The Cultuur of Aruba, one of the many islands that make up the Caribbean, is an amalgamate of the various cultures that have occupied and lived on the island, including indigenous peoples of South America, descendants of African slaves, and Spanish and Dutch colonialists. Part 1. Indigenous culture. Aruba was inhabited long before it was claimed by the Spanish in 1499, as evidenced by petrographs on walls and the ceilings of caves and excavated ancient artifacts of the Arawaks. They indicate that the Caquetios, peoples of the Arawak tribe that migrated north from the Orinoco Basin in South America, were in fact the very first inhabitants of the island. Part 2. Foreign presence. Although the Spanish were in control of Aruba for many years, the 80 Years' War between Spain and the Netherlands soon gave the Dutch the upper hand. Finally in 1636 the Spanish handed over the island to the Dutch. Years later, the English took over Aruba for a brief period, but it quickly returned to Dutch rule in 1816 and remained that way until 1985, when Aruba became a separate entity within the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Part 3. People and culture. The people and culture of Aruba have many different backgrounds, ranging from the Indians to the Spanish, and more recently, the Dutch. Today, Aruba is home to people from at least 40 different nationalities. Nowadays, the nearly 100,000 inhabitants of Aruba reflect its greatly changing history. Through local foods, architecture, celebrations, and languages can immediately be seen the different influences the past settlers had on the island. Yet the Dutch continue to be the most influential people in urban society, since the Dutch language is the official tongue of the urban people and Aruba continues to have close ties to the Netherlands. Part 3. People and Culture. Chapter 1. Cultural Celebrations. Content flagged as original research. Aruba has its own distinct culture, which often includes celebrations. Color and music play an important role in the majority of cultural events, most notably in the yearly Carnival and Dia de San Juan. St. John's Day. Celebrations. For Dia de San Juan, Arabans dress in red and yellow traditional shirts and black traditional trousers to represent fire. This celebration originates from a combination of pre-Christian Arawak harvest festivals and the works of Spanish missionaries to combine them with the celebration of San Juan. Aruba is the only country in the world that celebrates this day with dancing and singing. During the celebration a singer will chant a familiar Dirigai Berry Rooster tune while players accompany the song with drum, violin, and a local instrument called a wiri. While they sing, they will choose someone to come and try to hit a fake rooster with their eyes closed. When that person hits that rooster, it will bring a wonderful smell that comes from the fruit. Calabash. Arabans often refer to Carnival as Bacchanal, a term based on the Greek and Roman celebrations dedicated to Dionysus for the Greeks and Bacchus for the Romans, their god of wine, vegetation, and cheer. Ambas Bacchanalia shares some similarities with the ancient celebrations. The New Year celebration in Aruba also includes a number of cultural superstitions and traditions. The traditional celebration is called Dand. The name Dand, also spelled dandy, comes from the Papiamentu word dandara, meaning to revel, to carouse, or to have a good time. After King William II I of the Netherlands declared slaves to be free, the celebration began. A group of 5 or 6 people usually performs these rituals, though more can join in. These people accompany a singer and travel door to door to express their best wishes for the new year in repetitive songs, with a chorus that includes the phrase, I Nob, Ananobo, New Year, sung after each phrase. The celebratory travel usually leads to the houses of the singer's friends and family, where the host collects money in his hat to give to the group. Certain districts may have their own and groups performing on the second day of the year. Part 3. People and Culture. Chapter 2. Superstition and Pagan Beliefs. Influenced by American tourists and the Latin Americans working in Aruba, Halloween is now observed and to a lesser extent the celebration of Dia de los Muertos among the Latin Americans. The first beliefs and superstitions in Aruba date from pre-Columbian times, when Indians roamed on Aruba. After 1820, with the disappearance of the Indians, their imagery and cultural heritage was lost. With the influx of slaves during the 17th and 18th centuries, African beliefs and superstitions were assimilated, some of which are evident in the traditions of Diragai, Dand, and harvest feasts. Fortune-tellers abound in Aruba. A popular practice involves female practitioners sipping and spitting spirits, often cheap rum, amidst candles and incense, swinging a duster, puffing a cigar, in the belief that the future can be revealed by looking at the curling smoke and lit cigar end, or blowing the smoke on unsuspecting rooster. Cards, including tarot decks, are also popular, and no ceremony is complete without the customer being dispensed a potion or bath salts, the use of which will yield the desired result. Consultation fees are steep, but good fortune does not come cheap. Many Ubans, however, refer to these activities as like believing that roosters lay eggs. Weebodai Guy. This recording is a derivative work from Wikipedia. For more information, please visit www.frogcast.org.